All right. Do I need to change anything about this little black space or anything? Or not?
Nah,
It's just awkward as can be, but it's okay.
I can stretch it if you want, but
Stretch the black space?
no.
Are
Stretch
we
the,
talking,
Oh,
are we talking about a butthole? What are we
this
talking about?
image. I can stretch this image if you guys if it looks better.
no, you're good, man.
All right.
Fuck it, that's gonna be the intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerd Dude Movie Podcast,
Yawning.
where we talk about stretching buttholes. We're back for the regular episode, I guess, because
Yeah.
we just
After the
just got out of-
Arnold extravaganza.
yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yep.
Although
May not have known that until now.
what day
All right.
is Arnold's actual birthday on? It's in July.
July,
Or something,
It's
right?
in July.
We'll have to do two
like-
end of days in like 6 days.
Yeah, end of days in Junior.
Good.
No.
Oh yeah. I've never watched either one of those.
So we got two movies for you guys. Army of the Dead. Two newer movies, actually. Army of the Dead and Psycho Goreman.
Psycho Goreman.
PG.
Yeah, I love the abbreviation. Fucking literally a rated R Power Rangers.
So we're gonna start with Army of the Dead because we have some things to say. So obviously this movie just came out.
Shame on you, Zack Snyder.
Came out on Netflix. Directed by Zack Snyder, produced by him and his wife. Screenplay was by him. Starring Dave. Doesn't really have good acting chops. Batista.
Kuye?
Bautista. No, you got to say it right. Bautista. Bautista.
No, that depends on what movie he's in. Because remember, we already went over this in the hospital movie with Jodie Foster. He was a Cholo, he was Samoan, and on the spectrum.
Yeah,
That's true. Other notable people, Ellie Purnell, I believe that's her name. She's in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
Oh,
If you guys have seen that, it really sucked, but it's based on a
She's the daughter? Okay, yeah.
yeah. Let's see, is there anyone else?
The German guy.
Hiroyuki Sanada is in this movie. He plays
Scorpion.
he plays Scorpion, and he plays an evil Japanese man, which is usually what he plays in other movies.
Yeah. Also, Theo.
Oh, Juice.
Yeah.
Theo Rossi.
Yeah, that's true.
He's Juice from fucking
Dude, every time they showed him, it was like zoomed in on his pervy look on his face. Like, like that
Yeah.
drove me. Like, even before he obviously.
his stash.
Spoiler. But yeah, but when he comes in, he's like, hey guys. And like the camera's like zoomed in on his. It's just.
you knew he was gonna be the creepiest fucker.
Yeah,
of
it's
all
like,
of them,
okay, this guy has been in the movie 3.5 seconds, and I already know he's going to get serious comeuppance.
though. Yep.
For some
I don't
reason,
like that guy already.
I thought he was in Rescue Me, but I'm wrong on that.
Ah,
I
Sons of
think.
Anarchy.
No, he was Sons
Yeah.
of Anarchy. Yeah.
Rescue Me is
And
another
then-
amazing show, though.
Last member, and then we'll jump into the movie. Chris D'Elia is in this movie as well.
Oh, all right. So watching this movie, if you were a D'Elia fan, I happen to be a fan. I listened to his podcast, and as he's filming this movie, he's telling funny stories about his co-star, this German guy, and he's telling funny stories about how he interacted with this person and all these. So you listen to it for months, right? And then Army of Dead gets delayed. And then he gets into his fucking kerfuffle. And then you get Tig Notaro to what only can be described as the background of Vaseline on the camera lens. Every scene she is in, and it's no fault to her, she actually did an okay job, except for the fact that the lines were clearly fucking written for him. She does an okay job, but every scene she's in, her background's blurry because she was $4 million CG'd into the fuck. Lewis, go on.
Yeah. Also, there was one more guy, if you guys don't mind. Garrett Dillahunt. He was also in Burn Notice. He was in he's the guy that fucking severs the head.
Oh yeah, that
He's
douchebag.
the cookie cutter bad guy.
Yeah,
He's also
yeah.
he's also in Fear the Walking Dead, which I like that actor.
I don't think he's played a good guy in a movie in a long time.
In Fear the Walking Dead he does, but yeah.
Yeah, because he was. Oh god, he's been the bad guy in how many fucking movies?
in a lot of stuff, yes.
Yeah,
But I do like him. I do like him
They're
though.
like, we need a bad guy who's white, so he's easy to hate. Get this fucking guy.
So,
Okay.
this movie is made by Zack Snyder. It's been in development hell since 3 years after Dawn of the Dead, the remake, came out. So, I mean, who knows what this thing would have looked like had it came out in 2007. But obviously, this is hot off the heels of the Snyder Cut for Justice League coming out. Zack Snyder had been saying, like, this Army of the Dead is the definitive vision he had for the film, which I don't know if he was drunk. But yeah, we could just jump into this because there are.
Well, when did his child pass though? Or when did she
It was
die?
during development of Justice League.
During development of Justice League.
So that
yeah.
was 2000. Shit, I don't know.
12?
No,
Oh, wow.
2000 shit was last year.
Yeah.
Let me. No one's gonna laugh at that joke. Fuck you guys. Let me. 2017. 2017.
Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So it is 2007. It should have been out in 2000. You said right for Army of the Darkness.
Well, this
or
has been
Army of
in
the Dead?
development hell, so
Yeah.
scripts and
So
stuff.
it should have came, but it should have came out back then.
Should have, but this got filmed in 2019.
So this could have been it probably would have been better. I'm going to be honest.
Well, do people still not realize that the photo of the Snyder Cut canisters were taken on the set of Army of the Dead? Like that leaked leaked photo of the canisters, because you saw the canisters in the vault, right?
Mm-hmm.
That photo he took of them was in the vault. Like that's where he took the photo when he was filming Army of the Dead. That's where that photo started to arise from.
Okay.
Because it's the same exact canisters on the same exact type shelf. So he literally, when he was filming, was like, hold on, and took a still of it.
Huh.
Which is cool, but then I had an allergy attack and the movie went blurry for 2 hours. I can't say this enough.
It was your allergies. It was your allergies, man.
Every fucking 5 seconds, somebody is out of focus.
So about that, so Snyder was also the cinematographer for the film, which it's Snyder, so you're like,
I thought it was going to
good.
be awesome.
Yeah. However, I'm looking this up as I go along. This is his first time using digital cameras.
First time he's the director of cinematography as well.
Yeah,
Wow.
so the company Red Digital Cinema designed a custom-made Red Monstro camera for him that was able to use the Canon 50 millimeter from the 1960s. But the weird blur you see is a rangefinder lens that he bought off of eBay.
Fuck Zack Snyder.
Why?
Because he's a moron.
No,
Grief will do weird shit to you, won't it?
Holy shit. Okay.
I don't know, because this movie from the beginning, well, the movie starts off with
A montage.
a montage music video, and when it started, I'm like, oh, Zack Snyder, here we go again.
Richard Cheese is singing.
How many fucking songs?
Viva Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And during the montage, you're kind of like, okay, so I know what I'm kind of getting myself into.
I actually like the montage where they're each holding up a photo and they each get they get an action scene and then the next character holds up. I really like that actually.
Yeah. It kind of made you feel like you were in a video game for a second.
It had humor, but there was tons a la Zombieland. The intro is very violent. It's got humor. The CG's on point in the movie. Like I didn't have a single problem with the CG. Looked really good. That's probably because it was rendered at whatever. I mean, if he's using digital cameras, he's filming in 8K. You'd imagine. So he's probably rendering the CG at 4 or 1440 and then upscaled, because it's got to be able to keep up with the actual what's being filmed, the actual data stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, as soon as the movie gets going, the camera style is just very off-putting.
It's so every scene something is blurry.
I did not get a chance to see it all because every like 2 minutes I was getting asked a question. What's this? What's this? What's this? I was watching it with my wife, and
Bro,
she
no,
loves to question me as we're watching movies.
no more excuses. You got to ZQL her ass.
But I want to watch movies with her, and I tell her at the beginning, I'm like, no questions. We're watching the same movie for the first time together, especially when the newer ones, and it still comes out. She questions me.
That's why Matt keeps a giant jar of Rohypnol by the couch.
It's like I pull out like a split the same size as my water bottle. Thirsty? You can't have soda pop anymore.
This is your bottle.
Yeah.
Here. This is your bottle.
The one that I didn't drug while you were in the bathroom.
Not this one's the one that I keep. This is yours.
And not to be confused with this one.
I
That's the one
see
with my name.
Alex accidentally knocking himself out instead.
Like which one is? Ah, fuck it.
No, but I love to watch movies with my wife. She obviously doesn't watch the show at all because she falls asleep in the middle of our live shows. But I love watching movies with her. But it aggravates me that we're watching the same movie for the very first time, and I tell her this is brand new, and she asks me questions. Wait, what about this? I don't know. I'm still watching with you.
It's like, I don't know, honey. Let me call up James Cameron and ask why he made that choice.
Give me. How about this? Give me 10 minutes. You go to the other room, and I'll rewind it, and then I'll tell you why. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
I often feel bad because Jen will come home and be like, I tried to watch the stream, but then a client came in and I had to turn it down because of the language. It's like, sorry.
See, Alex, you need to master the art of putting on a movie to watch, one that you know she's going to fall asleep on, and then when she falls asleep, change it to the movie you wanted to watch, because I do that all the time.
Do you really? I can't.
Yeah.
That's too much work.
No, not for me. It's... I can...
What are you talking about? It's literally, you know she's going to fall asleep to whatever she wants to watch. All you got to do is suffer through 20 minutes of it. Then you look over and she's like, zang, and you put on your shit.
Knowing my luck, she's going to stay awake and ask me questions. I don't know.
So then it's like an hour's worth of your time. Like it's not, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's too much work is the proper response.
That's the Twilight Zone version. Is Alex puts on a movie he thinks she's going to fall asleep to, and she's just like paying attention the whole fucking time.
He's
and then if you lie and you're like, I gotta review this for the show, and 20 minutes in you're like, she hasn't fucking fallen asleep yet.
Go to fucking sleep.
Go to sleep.
No, I remember texting Alex as soon as I saw the first scene with Tig Notaro, because immediately, just the way it was shot, you're just like, something's off.
Oh, you mean the scene where she's in focus, and then as she backs up to the helipad, the blurriness starts to consume her body? Where Tig Notaro is this big, or she's this big in the beginning, and then as she moves back into the shot, into the background, the blurriness that is surrounding everything starts to take her over to the point where by the time they cut the scene, her body's blurry. I like Zack Snyder, but this is literally one of the worst worst film movies. Like I can't. It's this.
The amount of money that.
Yeah,
the amount of money that they
exactly.
did, they should have just reshot the scene.
And here's the thing: is you do have moments of kind of cool zombie brilliance, where whether it be the Alpha, because he's never in blur mode, he's always fucking normally for whatever reason in focus. You have really cool zombie violence, but in between, and I'm sorry, I'm going to stick with my point that Dave Bautista does not act and does not know how to act, does not deserve leading man. Because when you rely upon the story to progress from the guy who goes, I'm tired of flipping burgers, huh? Or, what emotion the only scene he had emotion is when he killed his wife. That is the only scene that I thought he did decent acting. And every other scene, hey, we're gonna go to Vegas, I guess, right? Like
I kept trying to get an image of him with the whole get up for his burger flipping outfit.
That's what I was talking about.
I was trying to find that image because I don't know, it seemed a little stereotypical, like he was trying to do like an Asian thing, but he's
hamburgers and Chinese
Filipino.
food.
He's Filipino. Yeah, he's Filipino. He's not Chinese. So
he looked ridiculous in that
oh, he
outfit.
looked fucking horrible in that fucking outfit.
And his
And
suit, his
I was
glasses,
trying to
his
find one.
gaiters.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It doesn't. He doesn't have charisma.
He's not ready to be a fucking
No,
main.
but he's
main
never
character
going to
of
be
anything.
ready. He's never, because he's
No.
in his 50s or close to it. By the time Rock was his age, had the same Schwarzenegger syndrome. Rock developed his persona. In every movie, The Rock was The Rock until now. If The Rock isn't The Rock, it's what the fuck's wrong with The Rock? Batista hasn't had Cena. That's why Cena is only now starting to catch, because he doesn't have it. Because Cena went from cheesy action movie Marine to 12 rounds to comedy to this, and he's bounced around.
Cena was trying to be more serious. He was actually trying to be an actor.
Yeah, but he didn't. My thing is,
versus
he hasn't flourished. He didn't flourish
persona.
until his comedic roles, like his role in
Yeah.
that Amy Schumer movie, Blockers. Like he.
Did you watch the Firehouse one or no?
I have not.
I watched it with the kids, and we actually enjoyed it.
I'd imagine
as
it's a
family
decent,
movie.
It
was a good family movie.
Yeah.
It's a Mr. Nanny.
I actually, in all honesty, I'm the one. Jen's the one that doesn't have any interest in that movie. Like I've openly been like, we should check it out. And she's like, yeah, that's funny. Like,
No, it is a Mr. Nanny movie. Just throwing it out there. It's got its funny cheesy shit. John Leguizamo's he's stupid.
see, the
and,
cast is good because it's also who's the guy from Key and
Oh,
Peele, right?
Yeah, Key and Peele. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in there.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but the problem is Batista hasn't developed a Batista persona. Why? Because Batista doesn't have charisma. He doesn't have
has
a
no
persona.
charisma.
He doesn't have a persona to develop, so he's basically being cast like Schwarzenegger was being cast in Conan, like you're a big muscular guy,
Yeah.
and he'll never get out of that because he hasn't worked on his craft at all.
Oh, even Drax, fucking Drax from fucking.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Batista.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to carry on the role.
He's a son of a bitch. How stupid are you? You fell into the best role of a lifetime for a wrestler, frankly. You're making money hand over fist, and you're going to shit talk, and you're going to say, oh, I can't keep doing this forever. Well, where the fuck do you think you're... I'm sorry, Army of the Dead, yes, it made whatever money Netflix is going to...
It's entertaining.
Well, no,
entertaining at best.
as far as the amount of households, it's in like the 72 million households have watched Army of Dead. So according to Netflix numbers, it's wildly successful. But it doesn't make it a good movie, and it doesn't make it... This isn't a vehicle for Batista. There was no scenes in this where a director's sitting out there going, Batista needs to be in my movie. The only scene is when he has to kill his wife.
Yeah. That was the only thing where he showed real emotion.
But
because even the emotion he showed at the beginning or at the end, which I'm not going to get into, but it wasn't nothing like what he did at the scene where he did have to shoot his wife.
in all fairness to Batista, what of the other actors showed more emotion than the goddamn zombie alpha? Frankly, what actor in this showed emotion?
The coyote.
Nah, I mean, I don't know.
I did like the coyote though.
I did like her character. I thought she I don't know if it's me, and dude is beheading the queen. Shoot him in the back of the fucking head. You broke the rules.
Yeah.
You don't stand there going, what are you doing? You shoot him in the fucking head. But
she also had a double agreement, so that But as far as the movie goes,
they didn't even give you reasons to care about the characters. Batista's a burger flipper, former killer. His daughter is this girl. This girl, they don't even allude to the fact that they had a love affair together until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
2 minutes before she fucking dies. This movie does nothing to make you give a shit about the characters except, and it's only through humor, the German guy. The only reason you care about him is because he's the only character in the fucking movie that had a line of dialogue to elicit name me another character. Name me any character you truly give a shit about in this movie.
What did he call himself? The Safecracker? What did he call himself?
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
So this movie also does have I watched it and then I watched a video on a couple cool Easter eggs, and then normally in my head I'm like, if there's cool, I'll rewatch it because it's got cool shit that I didn't catch. But this movie was so blah, I was like, no.
When you saw the Easter eggs, you didn't care?
No, yeah, didn't care.
You had mentioned a couple to me, And that's the same thing that happened to me. Is I wanted to rewatch it, but then I thought about it and I was like, man, that's 2.5 hours again.
Well, it's not even the
Do
length;
I-
it's a
do I-
downer
do
of a
I-
fucking movie, man.
Do I want to do it? But
I
there
don't
is.
know. There are. I mean, I don't have to say no spoilers because you've
Yeah.
been listening to us for over a year now.
I've trampled all over that tonight.
Surprise!
But there's the in the beginning you can kind of see like what seems to be fucking
Aliens.
spacecraft.
Yep.
Some
missed
of
that
the
completely. I apologize.
You missed
some
it?
of these, yeah.
I missed it.
Jen almost missed it too, and I pointed out, I was like, look in the fucking sky, there's two light, and then bloop, they did their thing.
Yeah, I missed it, so I didn't see it at all. So
Some of the zombies are fucking cyborgs, which
I
the
saw
movie
that.
just
I
doesn't
saw that.
touch on. And that's fine if the movie doesn't touch on these things. If as a viewer you're like, I wonder if we'll get a sequel. But
Right.
watching this movie, I'm like, I don't really care if there's a sequel. I told Matt off air, I was like,
not
I
after
felt,
2.5 hours, I don't care.
yeah, I'm such a Zack Snyder fan that I felt like I was watching this to support a friend because I just
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it.
Little
Oh
bit, yeah.
shit! Yeah. Okay, I see it. But there's like other things that popped up later that I can't remember his name, starts with a V, whatever. The guy who does the physical therapy for the old ladies. The guy with the fucking.
You know, I actually tried to like his character, and they force you not
I
to
liked
like
him.
him.
I liked him a little bit, but then like he got a little over.
They give him no redeeming qualities.
It went a little too far with his character. They tried to make him this character that didn't really need to be pushed that far. You know, like we're gonna throw him down your throat, and then we're gonna keep throwing him down your throat.
Also,
But
sorry.
but he did have some. See, he did have some good points of what he was saying as far as the time loop.
Yeah, he wasn't a. Yeah, that was an interesting part that just out of
Yeah.
fucking nowhere.
Right.
They literally
And then
talk
when
about
they
how this
said
is
it,
all
and then when
time
they
loop.
said it, then you started seeing camera pans. But I was looking at something which says throughout the movie there are certain sections of the movie that's being filmed. There are certain things where people do look like those same bodies in certain areas of the movie as you're going through.
So there
But
also
it was-
is there's the alpha zombie, and you see when he escapes the vault, the black dude, he has an omega tattoo on him.
Yeah,
the alpha and
yeah.
omega. Which again, it's like there's all these cool like bits of like you don't know what this does and this does, but the movie was so just like mediocre. It's like I don't care.
Well, it's bleak too. Like it
But
doesn't.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but when they also actually asked Zack Snyder, what are your thoughts on this? And people say, he goes, well, yeah, that's a possibility, but that's not what it is. So there's something that happened during the filming of this movie that he was trying to do something, and he just said,
Well,
"Fuck
when-
it."
Yeah, but
when
shit
we-
doesn't
uh,
make
do it.
sense though. Like the I just watched World War Z. In World War Z, there's the pivotal scene in the beginning where Brad Pitt watches the zombie and he counts to his head to 10 when he watches the guy turn, right? And then later on in the movie, when they get to the encampment and they talk about how long these guys took to turn, they told them straight up 5 to 10 minutes. So in the movie, they tell you there is a variable to how each one of these strands are going to turn. In this movie, there's nothing. Literally in the beginning montage, 2 people have bite marks, so the bitch shoots them straight away, right? Batista, spoiler alert, saving his daughter, gets bit at the end of the movie and eventually turns. Takes him about a fucking minute, right? So how the fuck is he just feeling side effects on the plane? And why is it not, oh shit, I'm immune, and it's, oh man, I'm gonna turn? It's been how long? You survived a nuclear fucking explosion.
Yeah.
How
exactly.
long has you got bit by the alpha, by the way? So where is the sort of fucking any sort of logic behind how long it takes them to mutate and go from there? Like you build this whole fucking lore about the experimented on alpha, which they don't give any precursor information to.
Yeah, nothing.
How
And it's
was he-
2.5
was he-
hours? They could have done a lot.
No, but we got slow motion blurry scenes to fucking film.
Well, when did Snyder Cut come out? March?
Oh yeah.
I wonder if Netflix was trying to push this out a little quicker to kind of ride the coattails of,
Yeah.
Zack Snyder being.
Yeah, but the problem is you have the director saying this is the definitive cut of the movie, so there's not even that to have the excuse for.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true. It's just when you look at Dawn of
what
the
if what if
Dead
what
in
if they
this
slid
movie,
what if they slid him a piece of paper that had a number on it, and he goes, "Okay, we'll go ahead and do it," and I'll just say it was me.
Dawn of the Dead had
possibly.
Dawn of the Dead probably had a microcosm of the budget and is twice the movie this is.
I'm just wondering if they like slid him some numbers, and he said, "All right, fuck it.
Probably.
I've already had enough shit in my life happen."
The
Just give me
problem
fucking
and
money."
the problem is this doesn't have any of the Zack Snyder flair. It's got
No,
none
it
of his
doesn't.
normal film techniques. It's got none of the beautiful angles. It's got none of the vistas. It's got none of the filmed on film with the film grain.
it has one thing: the opening montage.
That is the only
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, the montage,
music.
and frankly, that's the best part of the fucking movie. It's violent. It's funny. It's slow motion kills. It tries to build tension because they kill off that's also a stupid fucking death. I hate these movies when they have
The
stupid.
mom or the wife or what?
No, the one that's like.
Or the one that gets
Yeah.
slammed down.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it is a stupid
I-
death.
yeah, I
It
was like,
didn't need
fuck.
to happen. I hate when these movies do stupid fucking deaths. I'm sorry. Enough of the stupid deaths. If you've been in Zombieland for how long, the dumb one should be dead by now. Everybody should be a fucking survivalist. Because if you can't last in a
Yeah,
survivalist
I get that
society
same feeling.
without being a survivalist. So there can't be any more stupid people. Like, that's the problem.
So, from my gathering, that was actually like weeks or months by the time they were actually getting out. Because how else would they seal off the entire Las Vegas?
Well, yeah, it's
You know what
gotta
I
be
mean?
it's gotta be a good amount of time
So-
after initial.
So there has to have been like months that passed, and those were the actual survivors. And yeah, so yeah,
But then
I agree with
then
you
it's
on that.
like the silly plot. Like, let's seal off Las Vegas and just wait and think, should we just fucking nuke it?
Why don't and that's the other thing. It's a nuclear missile, right?
Well,
They said nuke
yeah.
several times, right? So as I'm watching the movie, I go, that vault is going to be used. Somebody's going to be locked in there, and they're going to survive the fucking nuclear blast, right? Now, nuclear blast, if memory serves me correctly, has fallout associated with it, right?
Yes.
How
yes.
is he able to climb out and not be immediately murdered by radiation exposure?
radiation exposure? Yep.
Like, there's no, and here's the thing. I keep saying this. I'm a big fan of Zack Snyder. I really wanted to like this, but there's no fucking logic in this movie. It's literally, he goes, this lens I bought off of eBay is cool. Let's put it in the fucking movie, and he makes everything
Again,
fucking blurry.
I'm gonna go with somebody wrote some numbers and just slid it to him.
I think I'm leaning more towards Alex. Yeah, I feel like they were like, just take this paycheck, give us that piece of shit, we'll put it out.
There was a bunch of zeros at the end of that number.
They don't understand. He doesn't understand in that case how much this hurts his career. Because after you come off of the Snyder Cut and all the press and all the buildup, and this film 72 million people may have watched it. It may be a financial success for Netflix. Go read the
lot of
fucking
people-
reviews. Go
Yeah, a lot of people have said bad things about it.
type in Army of the Dead on YouTube and count on one hand the positive reviews you find. That's the truth of it. It's not a bad movie in the plot. I mean, the plot's silly. I mean, for one thing, we're adults. Why are we doing storylines where the main conflict happens because somebody's getting roadhead?
Yeah, that was
Camera popped.
It was
How-
stupid, but it was funny.
that
How
was the perfect time for your camera.
Yeah, right. How fucking immature is that shit? Where it just,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
See, I was thinking about watching this movie with my rewatching it with my kid, and as soon as I saw the Roadhead, I was like, yeah, I think we're not gonna watch it with my kids.
I don't get
So
it.
I never even invited my kids around.
Yeah, this movie was a mess. Is the best way to.
It wasn't horrible, but it was a fucking movie. Yeah, mindless fucking bullshit. But since we fucking actually talk about movies and review shit, that's where it comes into.
Well, for me, it was too. I mean, the movie wasn't great, but also it was a Zack Snyder movie, so it already was slightly on a, like, the expectations were already at a certain spot.
Yeah.
And like Matt said, like, this movie didn't have any of his flair. It's almost like
And here's the thing.
he didn't know what to do with the
But
movie.
here's the thing: is like you guys can say that they gave him a ton of money. That excuse doesn't fly. He was the for the very first time
I'm just saying that's the reason why he did it.
Yeah, but that he made the movie, but that only goes so far. He was for the very first time the director of cinematography. All of the shoddy scenes land on him. Every angle, every fucking eBay lens, every blurry fucking shit is all on him. And the fact that he sits there and goes, "Well, that was my vision." Your vision sucks dick. That's the problem. This movie is the zombie violence is great. If you can tolerate 2.5 hours of melodrama and fucking depression to watch some zombie gore, by all means have fun. The movie doesn't complete its storyline because you still have the daughter who survives, and just after she murders Dave because he turned, because of course the hero can't survive because I'm Zack Snyder. Just like Sucker Punch, and this goes in the same league as Sucker Punch, where it's visually, when it's not blurry, a good-looking movie, but it's depressing and the end result is not satisfying in any way.
And I mean, you think about it, and really, this is his first. Because Snyder Cut was him splicing together a movie he had already made. This was really his first directed movie post the original Justice League.
And he was director of cinematography as well. So he's got nobody to blame for this. Not for the end result.
You also don't know what the hell is going through his mind. I mean, but they were banking on Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder, and it just didn't come through.
Well, it worked for him financially, but the movie itself,
right. That's what I'm saying.
It's not a movie I think I'd ever watch really, or have the really urge to watch for quite some time.
But this is going to be definitive of how you can see how he is going to be after this.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
What's his next work going to be with his wife and whatever?
Yeah, but his wife has been the producer on all of his shit.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, is it going to continue? Like, we'll see what happens after this if he's going to do something that's going to be different from this.
How much is there after this? He's pretty late in his career. He's literally created his own visual style, which he went against on this one. Like he's going to have to go back to some formula.
But he's still grieving, man. You don't know. We don't know.
No, I know. I do know. I've lost a loved one. Okay. No. See, grieving is not a reason to have a blurry movie.
Yeah, I don't think the loss of his daughter coalesces with the film style, because you think of any
he's not focusing. I don't know.
Well, his camera's not focusing.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of them. Yeah, it's one of them.
Think of any visionary director that has a style. None of them have ever reverted to trying something completely different, and it's not just because they're known for that style. It's because that's successful for them. Cameron's never going to do a movie without an explosion. Abrams not going to do a movie without a fucking lens flare. And you'll know a Spielberg movie when you see it. It's so weird being a Snyder fan to see such a miss on this. And it does make you think, like, is this going to be, like, is he abandoning his kind of flair and his style? Is the next movie after this going to be? It's just a weird thing for a director to do.
The asshole was just quoted as saying he wants to do a 300-based porn movie.
Oh,
really?
God, no.
Well, that's where I'm also getting at, where maybe his fucking mind is still not there. Maybe he wasn't ready to fucking do something.
Then bow out of it, dude.
Who knows?
I understand you're getting millions upon millions thrown at you, but you're losing fan base.
Yeah, I'm not in his head, so I can't really tell you exactly what he's thinking, but
sure are inferring really quite a bit.
Yeah, but you don't know. Well, it's it's just you don't know what a person's actually fucking going through in their mind.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. As a consumer, I don't have to. As a consumer,
you don't have to support him. You don't have to support him.
I can look at a product and I can say, despite everything, I mean, frankly, how many movies have been made upon the basis of grief? How many people have gone through something in their life and written a script about it and had a movie made about it and found success?
What happens if this was just a funk and then his next movie is actually going to be what he actually did
So
before.
so I have to take.
What if this is a funk?
Yeah, but at that point,
I'm
theater.
just saying.
But I'm saying from the consumer's perspective, then I'm supposed to, because at that point theaters are open, whenever his next movie comes out. So I'm supposed to
Right.
go shell out top dollar for movie tickets on a movie that may be good, but based on his
Well-
last movie might not be.
Well, then that's where maybe cult classic starts for him. You know, like
I
maybe
don't know.
a
You're
cult
taking a
following
really weird
I'm
stance
I'm
on
just
this.
saying. No, I'm just saying. But I
You
don't
were
know
like
the guy
you were
personally.
100% in his corner, and I don't know why.
Well, no,
You're like, no,
I didn't-
maybe maybe his back was stiff and
I'm
he had a
just-
rough
I'm just
day.
Saying, I'm just saying him as a person, we don't know. But this as a movie was shit. I'm not disagreeing on that part. I'm just saying maybe as a person we don't know what he's going through. Maybe his fucking mind was fucked up. You don't know. You
I mean,
really don't know.
it'll be interesting now because
Let's see what happens when he comes out with his next one.
he's off the as far as I can see and from or as far as I can tell and from what I've read, he's done with DC. Unless everyone's done with something till a fucking money
Right.
truck.
Yeah, literally,
backs
yeah,
up.
until you can start making Cameron money.
Yeah, but if he's entirely done with DC and he's now known as Zack Snyder, but not just Zack Snyder who gets
The
the
cut.
Snyder cut and put out Army of the Dead and has said it's the definitive cut. Like I wonder what the fuck his next movie is going to be
mean,
because
Yeah.
How could it be the definitive cut if you've got blurry Tignataro in half of the fucking scenes? I'm sorry, it's not the definitive cut. The definitive cut is the one with Chris D'Elia. That's the one that was made the way you wanted it to be made, and then you had to shoehorn her in there. That's the fucking truth of it.
well, and another thing is that if this is your definitive cut and Zack Snyder was you saying your definitive cut, you're painting yourself in this new corner of control, which is good for a director. I always say it's good for a director to have control of their movie.
Got no safety
but
blanket though.
When you have no safety blanket, and when you're a director known for a certain flair, and you're just like, I want to try painting with watercolors today. It's
How does
like
it look?
I am more interested to see what his next film is going to be like than anything else.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, no one's ever done anything like this. Spielberg's never been like, I'm going to make a movie that's not in my style. Like,
I'm still not gonna go to the theater to see it. I'm gonna wait till it comes out because I don't want to go to the theater ever again.
no,
But
I
they can all go.
theaters.
They can all go suck a dick.
My thing is, like,
Um,
I personally feel he needs to go lower budget, less CG, focus on the cinematography of it.
I think he needs to find himself again. Like his love for the movie.
Then go
What-
away.
Yeah.
Go,
No,
then,
I
then
think
go away.
Yeah.
you hear him for interviews with the Snyder Cut alone. His love for filmmaking has always been there, and it's still there.
Because
it's
here's the
just,
thing:
like-
if you're a Snyder fan, you've been defending him for 3 years. Whether you want to face it or not, if you're a fan of Snyder's, you've been the one that's, I don't know, I really like 300, and every time, oh fuck Snyder, the Snyder Cut's gonna suck too. If you're a fan of his, you were the person. I even like Sucker Punch. I don't know, I dig the Snyder movies. And then he releases this, and it's you're jazzed up because you think, well, Dawn of the Dead's one of my favorite zombie movies of all fucking time. And then you watch this, and it's a letdown. And not only is it a letdown, it's a depressing letdown. The story's dark. The characters aren't likable. Tig Notaro, I guess, is kind of likable. You don't even fucking see her really die, or him if you believe
Well,
in the real
there-
definitive cut.
There also is, if you look through his filmography, he's only directed 10 movies, but 2 of the movies he's directed, written, and produced have been both, they've fallen flat, which is this and Sucker Punch.
Now, I'm
Okay.
even a supporter of Sucker Punch. I thought the ending was depressing as fuck for some reason. And you know
I
what?
like
Here's
Sucker
the other
Punch
thing.
to a degree. Yeah.
You want to get out of your grief? Stop writing depressing fucking stories.
If you look at all of his movies, they all have a depressing
Yeah, Sucker
undertone
Punch.
Yeah.
to it.
You watch the whole fucking movie, and then the end, it's like, oh no, it's just all in her head, and she's just going to be systematically beaten and abused. And okay, yay! Thank God I sat through 2 hours and 15 minutes of that. I like the movie,
No,
but his movies by the end of them, it's just like, well, I'm gonna go take a shower in blood to feel better.
I am interested to see how his next film is going to turn out. Apparently, he's doing a There's 2 prequels to this fucking movie coming out, animated
Really?
prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, just
Animated, huh?
stop.
How
I don't
about
wanna
how
watch
about
the
he
animated.
takes a crack,
Okay.
like he's got an eye for it. Go take a crack at like just an action movie. Just go make just go make an action movie. Or a thriller, or
With
a
his
horror
style and
movie.
cinematography, I'd love a straight action movie.
Can you
from Zack
imagine
Snyder.
like a Michael Bay style action movie from Zack Snyder? Like
Oh, that'd be fun.
that's the thing is like give your audience, because your audience wants an action movie from you. They watch the scenes from Justice League, Snyder Cut, and Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel. Those are all really cool action scenes. But he doesn't have a straight action movie. Hell, I'd be okay if Snyder made a horror movie. I'd love to see him take a crack at that genre. Go a little indie. Go a little low budget. Go more practical. Less CG. Make a fucking horror movie. Hell, take one of the big licenses. I don't give a fuck. The remakes have butchered horror movies so much. Let him have a crack at one of the fucking things.
Zack Snyder's Halloween with lots of music and
Oh,
stuff.
jeez. Yeah, yeah.
Slow motion cuts.
With a knife.
No,
I'm gonna get you.
I do hope, since this movie fell flat, that he sticks with his style,
His
but
original style.
tries to mess around with maybe some other genres.
I mean, the biggest issue is the blur. It is terrible looking in this movie. I pointed out to you guys earlier the scene where it literally cuts the fucking scene in half. This part's blurry, this part's not, this part over here isn't, but the foreground is blurry. The foreground being blurry while simultaneously the background being in focus and blurry makes no fucking sense. I'm a hobbyist in photography and videography, and I can tell you it makes no fucking sense to have this and this blurry, but this and this in focus. Makes no fucking sense. I couldn't as I
hear
watch
you.
this fucking movie every 5 minutes. I'm like, why is it blurry again? Why is every other scene you literally get 2-minute chunks of not blurry, and then guess what? Allergy attack again. Rub your fucking eyes because it's watering.
I never noticed that scene where you showed where what's his name was with the gun.
Yeah,
I never
man.
noticed that because it went by fast. It went by fast,
It's so
and
bad.
that was pretty shitty because the front of the gun is kind of there, and then the middle of the gun is gone,
And
but everybody in the background is good.
The thing about it is he zooms into this is a main shot for 3 seconds, which means he wanted it to look that way. Why? It's stupid. Oh, here's the character. What? This character is literally 6 inches behind me? Well, guess what? Depth of field happens. Can't fucking see them. They're blurry. Why?
Or the gun that's supposed to be in the main focus, where you're not going to see the gun.
Like, I'm sorry, but as a fan of his, it's like, why the fuck would you not only make these decisions, but then when people question you on them, you're like, fuck you, that's why. Because I made it that way. Oh, you made it so it comes out in summer during allergy season, you fuck. It's terrible. The blur is, the depth of field, whatever it's supposed to be, is terrible. Garbage.
Yeah.
With
I
that
feel
said,
like
I mean, you know.
I feel like the dad who's like speaking to his son, he's like, I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. Like this
Oh,
is how
yeah.
I feel with this movie.
Listen, Slugger,
I'm
you
not
tried.
upset. I'm not mad at you. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
I mean, and here's the problem with it. It is a problem, in my opinion. It did well financially as far as the Netflix numbers, so they're gonna milk the franchise for all it's worth. You're gonna get You're gonna get a blurry sequel, and it's gonna
And
be
they canceled Jupiter Legacy.
Yeah, and there's no reason for me to ever start that show because it ends on a cliffhanger. Like Giovanni said, I read online.
Well, he didn't watch it though. He didn't watch it. He read it online.
Yeah, I read it online that it ends in a
Well,
cliffhanger.
I talked to somebody who did watch it, and he said they said they liked it, but it ended in a cliffhanger.
Yeah, but what's the point of watching it?
Yeah, exactly. Now I don't want to watch it.
It's like that show, I think it was called Invasion. It was on ABC, where literally they go through the whole season. At the end of the first season, it's like, oh my God, did she get turned into an alien? And then they fucking canceled it. Just never gonna fucking know. Like,
That's
it's literally like
like,
canceling Lost in the fourth season.
The Child's Play show by Don Mancini is going to Sci-Fi, so it'll be canceled by like episode
Oh.
6.
Not only will it be
Well, I don't know.
canceled,
I don't
but it
know.
probably won't be very
Sci-Fi's
good.
been been doing pretty good with their shows.
Did Sci-Fi was Sci-Fi the network that had Happy on it?
Yeah, I think they did like 3 or 4 years of that.
Yeah.
But then they also had Winona Ryder or what? I'm sorry, Winona. What the fuck is the gun? The
Wino
gun fucking-
Forever.
What's shit?
I like that reference.
Winona
to Johnny
Earp.
Depp's
Winona
tattoo,
Earp.
Lewis.
Sorry,
I got that one.
Winona Earp.
I got the reference. You got it.
She was Winona Earp, and they actually did like 5 seasons of that.
You know who I saw in Sons of Anarchy recently that I never paid attention to is, have you guys watched Deadwood?
Yeah,
It's been a long
parts
time,
of it,
yeah.
yes,
You know,
parts of it, yeah.
the Calamity Jane, the like rough and tumble female that's like one of the main characters. She's actually in Sons of Anarchy, and she's dressed looks like a real woman. She's not a bad looking. Like, when you watch her in Deadwood, you're just like, she's got to stink. And then you see her in this, you're like, oh, she looks like a real person.
Everybody in Deadwood stink.
Yeah,
I'm
not
pretty sure.
Timothy Oliphant though. That dude's too handsome to stink.
He stinks like flowers.
He's the one guy that basically
God.
like, if there was a car wreck and it was my wife and I in one car and Timothy Oliphant in the other car, she would check on him first before me.
I'm sure she would.
She'd pull him from the wreckage. She'd be like, "Are you okay, sweetie?"
I check on him first before I check on my wife, though.
Why?
She like
That's
that
terrible.
with Timothy Chalamet
He's
or whatever
fun.
the hell
He's
his name
fun.
is.
You know what? If I was your wife, I'd let you burn to death in that car.
It's not even a crash. She just locked the doors,
my wife
put
knows
the child
not-
locks on, and
my-
set him on fire.
My wife knows not to compete with him though, because she knows how much I like Justified, and how much I fucking watched that show.
Are you saying? Did you seriously just say that your wife knows not to compete with Timothy Oliphant in your life?
She did. Yeah, you can ask her.
Jesus.
I guess you can call it a man crush or whatever, but I fell in love with Raylan Givens, man.
Man stalker.
That fucking character, man. He was fucking awesome.
Man, you don't know nothing about Timothy Oliphant, man. I've been watching his movies since A Man Apart, man.
I like him
what
in the
about Go?
Crazies.
What about Go?
I've actually never watched Go.
I think that was his first one.
I just remember him being in A Man Apart, and he was like a skinny Hollywood fuckboy, is how he looked basically.
What about Scream 2? Scream 3?
Was he in
Which one
Scream?
is
He was in Scream.
Yeah, it's 2 or 3. Yeah.
3. I think it's 3.
Oh,
It's
I only
3.
remember what's his face, Sabretooth being in Scream 2 or 3.
He's in both of them.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah what's his name though? He's a great actor.
Some
Married
Obviously
to
not good enough if you don't remember it.
pretty well. Yeah, you Mr. Champion of memory over there. Go fuck yourself.
we're all literally sitting in front of computers.
I'm afraid to touch
Nobody
anything
thinks
because
of
I don't want to
movies.
stop the recording. Okay,
God, I'm gonna look it up because it's gonna fucking
Do it.
bother me.
I'm gonna try to
Really?
get it before you can. It's not Ray Stevenson.
I'm listening.
It's Ray
Tiger
Donovan.
Click one.
Ray Donovan is the
Clickety
character
clack.
he makes.
Clickety
Or
clack.
he plays. Oh, it's almost there.
Liv Schreiber.
There you go.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
he plays Cotton
yeah,
Weary.
he was the dad, and then okay.
Yeah, he plays the slave owner in that. No, just kidding.
Cotton Weary's the name.
Cotton Weary.
It's late. We're making jokes. Should we? Any final thoughts on this? This movie is like a cheesecake left out of the fridge for a little too long.
And then you see
Out
it
of
the
the
next
freezer, you
morning,
mean.
like son of a bitch.
You want to eat
You're
it,
supposed to put cheesecakes in the freezer, but yeah.
but you know it's gonna make your tum tum hurt.
This
Yep.
movie to me is like when you order calamari deep fried and you get
eat
it and you get it delivered and then it gets to your house and because it's sat in the car for 45 minutes,
Oh,
the
no.
coating is no longer crunchy and it's soggy and it's
Yeah.
not good. That's what this movie is. I go in, I order it, and I'm all happy to watch Army of Dead. I'm going to enjoy my delicious fried Army of Dead, and instead I get this soggy, blurry piece of shit.
I've eaten it fresh, and I still can't eat it. But yeah, I got you.
That's because you had a baby, okay? You have the
No, because I'm allergic
you
to
have-
shellfish and
you
all that
have-
other shit
you
around.
have the tummy and the immune system of a baby. That is the problem.
I'm not allergic to my COVID shot, though.
I'm gonna edit
I
that
died
out.
getting mine.
Both of you.
Not
All I have
allergic.
is a sore arm.
I'm actually today. I woke up feeling okay, but I'm still tired. Tomorrow I'm going to the gun range, so I won't get woken up one way or another.
Now, when you post this on YouTube, we're gonna get like a click here for
Yeah.
COVID facts. Just
yeah,
because
it's
you
gonna be
mentioned
right.
COVID facts.
I mean, that's the
Sorry.
funny thing is like we joke about it, but we're all vaccinated. Like we're not preaching, go. Frankly, I don't give a fuck about you. Go do whatever you're gonna do. You don't
It's
want
up
to
to
get
you
it.
to fucking do
Don't
whatever
get it.
you
You
wanna
want to
do.
get it. Get it. I got it, so my dad would feel more comfortable basically getting it. Because
I
right
did
after
it for
I
my
get it,
family as well.
my dad was like, "Okay, I think I'm gonna get it." And then he found out that if he's fully vaccinated, he doesn't have to wear his mask at work. And he was like, "I'm dude, hit me up 6 times." Like he's just like ready to. He's done
I
with the
did it
mask.
for my family as well. I was very skeptic on the whole fucking COVID shot, but I did it for my family.
Listen, the second penis I grew is totally fine. It is a little
It's
weird
smaller than
because
the other, or is it bigger
well,
than the other?
it's on the side of my thigh, so I don't really know how to use it at this point.
inside or outside.
You gotta
thigh?
do the
Outside.
dance. You gotta do the
that's-
dance.
It looks like I have a leg holster under my pants, but it's just my second penis.
Should we?
Yeah.
Should we rate this piece of shit?
Yeah, Lewis.
We're
go
back
ahead.
to 5, right, guys?
Yeah, it's out
Yeah,
of
back
5.
to-
It's
back
hot
to
dogs,
5.
Chicago dogs. For now.
Ah, man,
We're back to
this
the
is-
dogs.
This is a 2 out of 5 for me. It's not a terrible movie. It's not a great movie. It's supposed to be a Zack Snyder movie. I mean, there are shots that look. The opening montage
Yeah.
looks good. Like Matt said, the fucking zombie killing.
The
a lot of
gore, the
scenes
gore is
look
solid.
fucking great. But yeah, this movie falls flat, and I'm more interested now because I'm always gonna be a Zack Snyder fan. He seems like a humble dude. He's got really cool style for all his films. I'm really interested to see what the fuck his next movie is gonna be. Like, I will watch it just to see what the hell is going on. I still support the guy. This just fell flat.
Why don't you get Snyder involved in the when they were trying to do the MonsterVerse?
That would
Okay.
have been awesome.
Why don't you
Yeah,
give
that
him?
would've
I
been
mean, give him.
different for him.
You give Guillermo del Toro the Swamp Thing because he did such an incredible job with Shape of Water. You give Zack Snyder Wolfman, like. There's directors that can handle these things, and yet they let the entire MonsterVerse go to shit because Tom Cruise wanted to be in the fucking Mummy.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Scientology,
movie
man.
It's not great. It's basically it's Tom Cruise running away from green screens for most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yet. Wow.
which is most of his
Alright.
movies, and when he's not hanging off of a jet plane. Alex, you go ahead.
On that one, I'm gonna say 2.5 because I still enjoyed the movie. I didn't catch all the blurry shit because, like I said, I was mostly paying attention to my wife.
He's
asking
like, because I was
questions.
fucking drunk. Okay, I don't see blurry.
I
when
was sober. I was sober.
No,
watching this
if
movie,
he
man.
was, they would have canceled each other out, and they would have been crystal clear.
2020,
and I would have said,
it.
"It's amazing, man. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking
I
about."
watched it in 1080p, and I swore it was 4K.
Yeah, I said it.
It looked so good. I saw the next movie he was working on.
No, but
Terminator.
Oh, I would love that.
no,
That would be
but
cool, wouldn't it?
it was very entertaining for me. It was just a fucking movie for me to watch with my wife, and it's very few and far between when I actually get to sit down with a movie and watch it with my wife. So I had fun. I complain about it a lot, but you know what? It was entertaining for me. So, yeah, 2.5. I think I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something to watch. It's nothing spectacular, and like I told you guys, it wasn't fucking amazing. It was just a fucking good movie to me to watch, you know. And I did catch a couple of the Easter eggs, but it wasn't. Yeah, it just.
Neither one of
2.5.
you caught the Sin City typography.
No, I did not. I did not.
Losers. All right, I'm going to give this a pretty harsh 1.5. I didn't hate the movie. I think the zombie gore is awesome. I wanted more of it. I think it's at some points quite devoid in it. What's there as far as the alpha, that whole concept's neat. The queen's neat. The zombie baby's a little fucking stupid.
It was a bit weird.
But they like when they get into the casino and you actually they're killing zombies and the final, like when they're running out, all awesome. That's where the 1.5 star comes from. The reason it's not higher is because it's blurry as hell. It's not his signature style, which is okay, but the style you chose on this one looks like shit. You get a 1.5 for the gore and the fact that the CG had a lot of production behind it and looked great. I don't like his cinematography styling in this movie. I don't like the blurriness. I don't like the weird close-up angles every 5 seconds with the team, like it's supposed to be in a fucking Avengers movie. I think Batista's a poor choice for lead. I don't think he's got the chops to actually lead.
This is your Avenger thought right here.
Yeah, exactly. Or fuck the other photo of yours is another Avenger.
Yeah.
So I don't think Batista belongs in a lead. I don't think he's got any sort of what you need as far as everybody's going to compare him to The Rock, so I am. He doesn't have any of the charisma The Rock has. I don't dislike him. I just want to see him in roles where he actually, like, if you're going to be a big muscle guy, but if you want to try to get act, give me more scenes like the one where he kills his wife. If you want me to be a Batista actor supporter. As of right now, I thought all the actors' performances, except for the German guy, was lame. None of the characters are likable. The movie's bleak. It's dark. Besides the intro, there's not a single moment of levity in the entire movie. It's just this group of assholes keeps walking themselves into stupidity. And then you have the cliche at the end. The stupid daughter has to run off to go look for her fucking stupid friends. It's not a great movie. It's not terrible. You can watch worse, believe me. If you can shut your mind off and not think about, gee golly, is my vision blurred for the 14th time in a half hour, and you just want to watch
2.5 hours.
You just want to watch some zombie gore, you can do worse, believe me. But do not expect Zack Snyder do not expect any of the flair you get in a usual Zack Snyder movie. You are getting a digital camera, blurred vision, bare bones as far as cinematography, straight up. We made a zombie movie. 1.5. No onions.
You mentioned the Dark Universe Monsterverse, and I didn't realize that they made like an Avenger style, like bunch of fucking losers. Like it got canceled.
The funny thing is none of them were in the same room ever. That photo was taken separately, and they just photoshopped them all into the same photo.
That's so embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Universal Pictures.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with probably a fairly quick review. We're going to be doing Psycho Goreman.
It should be fun, though.
It's a good one. A movie that didn't depress the shit out of me. But we'll be right back with that one.
Okay.
Don't say my government name, damn it.
All right.
We got to do this. All right.
On to the next movie, which is Psycho Goreman. This is a breath of fresh air from the first half of this shit show.
Not just the movie,
by the way.
Yeah. So this is this movie came out in last year. It's by a group that goes by the name Astron 6.
Okay.
They're a bunch of Canucks. They've done a bunch of indie stuff.
Explains a lot.
I'm just gonna mention a bunch of stuff that no one knows what I'm talking about. They did Manborg, Father's Day, The Editor. They did the W short for ABC's of Death 2.
Nice.
Okay.
They've done The Void, which
I've seen that.
The one of the guys who Jeremy Gillespie, who directed The Void. He was talking to Guillermo del Toro about his At the Mountains of Madness script that never happened, and immediately was like, I'm stealing that idea. So that was kind of like what The Void turned into. They also did Leprechaun Returns.
Okay.
Is that the one with Hornswoggle?
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's not a bad movie.
Which is funny because I posted something about Hornswoggle earlier with you guys. I shared something with you guys. Yeah,
that was when Matt was dissing all people under than 4 feet.
I didn't insult any. Listen, it's not an insult, right? I'd imagine you sleep in a normal sized bed with your wife. I think it's a legitimate question to ask if you have some sort of bars.
Keep you from rolling off the bed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's that's a far fall for the little fella.
I've met the gentleman in person, and he almost fell from the walkway at O'Hare. So
I'm just thinking about him
Hey,
and his
you're
safety,
you're
bro.
you're not even half the man he is, so you shut up.
maybe I'm not. I don't know. I gotta stop. Yeah.
I mean, are we talking
All right.
literally or?
So
There is a song about that too, isn't there?
Yeah, by some band.
so
Yeah,
so
we're not gonna go that way.
Psycho Gorman, or PG for short.
I like PG.
I like PG.
I
It's
do.
funny.
So this was
fun.
also distributed by RLJE Films, which I've mentioned so many times. They're a distributor of a lot of indie horror. They distributed Haunt and a bunch of other cool shit. But anyways, yeah, we could just jump straight into this movie. So a basic premise: it's about two little kids that befriend a
Is befriend really the word?
So
Enslave?
they dug up first, and then
Yeah,
they enslaved.
they enslave slash befriend this creature that's been I guess crash landed on this planet.
Well, did they both really, or was it just Mimi? Because I think that was the
Well, no, that's the whole
He-
theme,
he-
though, is like, even though the brother's always there, she never gives him any of the fucking attention or
well.
spotlight.
Neither
She's
neither
such a
does
bitch.
No,
neither does
Mimi.
PG. Neither does PG. He calls her the
Mimi-
brother.
Mimi
Or-
is a little piece of shit,
She-
and I love her in this
she's
film.
such
She
a
is
piece of
fucking
garbage.
hilarious. She is hilarious. I love her.
I like, dude, the one scene where she's like, "You're gonna sit and you're gonna stay here till we come back tomorrow," and he just sits. He's kind of like he doesn't know what to do. Like, what the hell am I gonna do? He's just kind of like,
this image right here just shows her whole fucking persona throughout the
Even-
entire movie.
Even the like music montage when the fucking beam goes straight through the wall and the dad has like a meltdown.
yeah,
Yeah.
What a piece of shit by the end of the movie, by the way, the father was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Total just bum asshole.
Well, just the conversation he has with Luke. What does Luke ask? Where if monsters are real?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like,
And
yes,
he's
but
like, the
monsters
people
yeah.
are the monsters.
Oh, the real monsters.
The people are
See,
the monsters.
I
Real
actually,
monsters.
I do find that line really funny though. It's like one of my favorite lines. There's like, people are the real monsters.
So, when I was I've probably watched this movie fucking 10 times, so I didn't have to watch it for the review.
I'm sure
But
you did.
I was trying to think of movies this made me think of growing up, and I don't know if Matt, you've ever seen this movie. It was an adaptation of an anime. Mark Hamill starred in the first one, and
Not me.
Guyver?
David
See it.
Hayter. Yes.
I knew you
Which
were gonna,
one?
yeah,
Yes.
I knew that's where you're going.
Guyver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
the first one has Mark Hamill, it's called The Guyver, and the second one has David Hayter for Metal Gear Solid, and it's just called
Snake.
Guyver 2. They're both
I've seen the live action one. That's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
They
what
are.
we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only one I've ever seen.
You
Yeah,
guys,
Because
you and
because of
Giovanni
you and
lo-
Giovanni.
Yeah, you guys loved those movies when we were younger.
You made Grandpa order that fucking, or you made Grandpa go back to fucking Blockbuster every fucking weekend. And I think you were the only ones that actually rented it.
Yeah, so I
He
actually
should've just bought it. He should have just bought it.
I found they had Guyver 2, someone uploaded on YouTube, and scenes from the first one. And the thing that made me think about this movie is the entire movie is pretty much practical effects. It's
Yeah.
the fucking rubbery suits.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, and that's this Matt had said it perfectly. I think you would send me a text. You're like, this is like grown up Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You did-
only
you did
like
say that.
it wasn't just it was a combination of like the costumes and how they kind of zoomed in were very much kind of how like the putty creatures used to zoom in Power Rangers. Then when they have their table meeting and they're all
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
every one of the creatures is a different crazy suit. The voices are all eccentric. The lines between them are kind of humorous. I'm watching it, and I was watching it with glee because it really is like a psychotic rated R Power Rangers. Like, it's basically like a Power Rangers written by something like me at 13 years old. You know what I mean?
When you said that, and then when I saw that part, I just watched it yesterday, so for the first time. So yeah, I did see that, and it was funny. I did get it.
And I mean the action, like Psycho Goreman really is awesome in the movie. Like they try to portray him like kind of how they overcourse the movie. He kind of softens, but then at the end, he really just didn't soften. Like he goes right on to mass murdering. Like
I'm only gonna take care of you.
yeah, basically like I like
about
you,
it.
I like you guys, but yeah, no, it's just a crazy fucking movie that is entertaining. It's humorous. It's really violent in the best ways. It's cheesy in the best ways.
Actually,
you know,
it's actually PG, right?
no, God no,
I thought that's what I saw, that it's actually PG.
no, that's just Psycho Goreman, the
So
acronym.
the weird thing is the movie is insanely violent, but also probably the most kid-friendly violent movie
Yes.
I could recommend in a weird way.
Well, that's because there's not-
language. Aside from language,
Well, there's not even a like Psycho Goreman himself doesn't even use a lot of language.
but the movie does use plain language or whatever you want to
There's
say.
profanity in it. Yeah.
But there's no nudity, which that's the biggest thing that I fucking loved about it. That's all I want from a fucking horror movie. Is no fucking nudity, just so my kids can watch it with me, and I don't have to worry about it because I'm not so much worried about the nudity part, but my kids are. They
It
don't want to
does
see.
that does make me think about what Matt said about growing up, how and all of our parents were like this, how your dad was like can't see movies,
Yeah.
but you could see
But
RoboCop.
close your eyes to
get
the
his
boobs.
Oh
fucking
yeah,
it's weird.
literally.
Oh, look at the gore. Look at the gore, but don't.
Well,
close
I
your eyes to the
remember
boobs.
vividly, like when Species came out to rent, he rented it, and I watched like
Yeah.
maybe half of the movie, because like he was okay with her ripping dudes apart, but as soon as her tits were out and they were in a hot tub, Matt had to put the blanket over his eyes, and of course, I was a pervy little kid, so all I wanted to see was tits. When I got a VCR in my room and I was able to watch rated R movies without like one of my parents up my ass, it was amazing to watch things like Terminator 1, for instance, unedited, and it was just the little tit scene of Sarah Connor, but that was cover your eyes. It was, I don't know. The weird
But
hypocrisy there.
I'm having the opposite reaction. My kid is actually saying, "I don't want to see naked. I don't want to see people having sex. Just show me the violence." And I'm like, okay,
Just
like
show
all
me
right.
the
let me fast forward.
Tell your kids to appreciate cinema. We need 4-minute long sex scenes like in Conan.
But
But my daughter loved this fucking movie, man. My 9-year-old. She fucking loved this.
yeah, I love all of the suits in this movie look
They were all fucking
awesome.
great.
I
Even
think-
the fucking washing machine looked fucking awesome.
So the guy who plays that is Rich Evans from Red Letter Media. I don't know
Really?
if you guys know of them. Yeah.
I don't.
They do reviews
Yeah.
as stupid as ours and a bunch of other shit.
Okay, that's cool.
I think my favorite costume besides PG though, you
What?
briefly see it's the floating
The head.
eyes
Yeah.
and brain in the jar,
Yeah.
the one whose
Okay.
face just
That's-
goes like
That's my
I was going to
favorite
use
too.
it as one of my images. I was
It-
going to use it, but I changed my mind.
It reminded me of a mix between Beaker and the Mystery Science Puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like
Yeah.
that. Was my favorite as well. I also like the group of like other demon type dudes, aliens that like were his crew that betray him, and they're just like, we like how
The
it's going
prophets.
now. We all get a
Prophets that came
turn.
down.
Like they're basically it's all harmonious now that he's gone, and now that he's like back, they're like, oh shit. They're like the Planet of the Apes and Spaceballs. At the end.
yeah.
That
And
was fun.
surprisingly in this movie, like I thought, I didn't think like the actors, like I thought the flair of this movie would just be the people in the costumes. Surprisingly, everyone in the family, the mom, the dad, the two kids, are all pretty fucking good in this movie too.
You know, and I also you were talking
As
about
cheesy as they are.
You were talking about the Guyver as you got it. I really felt specifically between the kids and Psycho Goreman a very like trick or treat type vibe, or not trick or treat.
Yeah.
Satan's Little Helper.
Yeah, saying
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I had a very much but the thing about it is there's parts of this movie where you're like, who's more evil, Psycho Goreman or this little fucking girl?
Or fucking Mimi. Yeah, no shit.
So oddly enough, this movie got good reviews. All of the negative ones I've seen, the one comment that drives me crazy is a lot of them say the girl is really annoying. And while watching this movie, I'm like, she's like, they're little kids. Like, she's supposed to be fucking annoying.
Well, that's the whole point. Is she's literally like you are. It's kind of the Toy Story storyline of like you are her puppet. You're enslaved by her, and it's a little girl. She's gonna make you like she's a dark little girl though.
Yeah, and even when she shows it with her brother, but she also wants to have this attraction towards Alistair.
Poor Alistair.
Poor Alistair. She wants to get him to like her, and then he becomes this. So
the end scene of the movie where they're just eating dinner.
But she's actually a girl that's just trying to become popular or loved. I don't know how to say it.
Well, I think that's the truth. Is she's a lonely little girl. Like they don't show her having friends.
Even though she has a brother, her brother has the friends, not her.
Yeah,
and she's in love with a friend of her brother's.
Yeah, like she's just socially awkward, and
then she finally gets a friend,
and he's forced to give her the attention.
Exactly.
You know, she owns his ass
because her pocket fucking glows.
Well, she finds basically the source of his power that was removed for him, and if you wield it, you control him.
Yeah.
I do love the fight scene between him and his goons that betray him. Like the movie's awesomely violent. And I don't want to give too much away because it is kind of a simplistic movie. I was interested. I found it interesting they utilized the mother at the end the way they did, and turn her into like the archangel, and then they do bring her back to normal.
Yeah. It does go back and forth. So I like that part about it.
I think with a bigger budget, you could have had things like the Archangel Queen, whatever the hell her name was, like a chase scene, something like that. But I
like the melting cop. What was his name? Or did they have a name for him?
He's just credited as Bio Cop.
I like how he went.
Yeah.
He waved.
He's like firing the gun.
When he threw his arm up and waved, both my fucking kids fucking just started fucking laughing.
There is
that was like the funniest thing in the world to them.
There is,
and I'm like, really? That's funny to you?
See, I got a flashback to RoboCop. Like as soon as I saw him, I thought the dude who gets in the chemical waste,
the melting,
help me, help me, man!
But there was so many parts that happened in this movie. One of them was Alistair, and then one of them was the cop, and my kids just fucking kept laughing, and I like that about horror movies. Where we're watching a movie where it's getting gory, it's getting this, but then they still have that little part where they laugh. I loved it.
The cop was legitimately funny too.
Yeah.
So that the cop
he's just fucking popping shit off.
It's actually they did a short called Bio Cop that's a throwback to.
Okay.
The character in the short is a mutated cop that looks like a zombie.
Nice.
But yeah, the guys behind this group, Astron 6, if you haven't seen The Void and you want to see their practical effects, but in straight up horror, definitely check out The Void.
Okay. Anywhere it's found or no?
It occasionally goes streaming between Amazon Prime and Netflix. It bounces back and forth. I don't know if it's currently streaming.
I'll have to check it out.
It's really good though. It's a short film. And it was an indie one. They raised money through Indiegogo to fund it.
Okay.
My camera's frozen. Get out. FYI.
You're frozen.
I was like, why is he looking down?
Yeah, no, you can hear me, but you can't see me.
Yeah.
Matt just looks disappointed.
You look very focused.
I'm disappointed in everything. I'm taking a poop right now, is what it is.
Hey, all right.
But like Matt said, I mean, I don't think there's any point to going through this movie beat by beat. It's a good movie if you're looking for a not in the sense of like a horror movie, like a fun, I guess
If
fun
you,
comedy horror.
I'm gonna say this right now, a fun family movie. If you're okay with them hearing curse words, it's
And
fucking
gore.
perfect. It's yeah, but yeah, a fun family horror movie. If you're okay with people swearing and using words that you don't normally use.
Let's face it, if you're watching this and you have kids, they're probably fucking playing Call of Duty right now. This movie will be
Yeah,
fine for them.
yeah, I'm sure they heard worse.
Hi guys.
Whoa,
Oh, you're back.
we're seeing how the sausage is made.
We're gonna go ahead and finish this episode like this because I don't know what the fuck's going on with OBS.
I like how you said that.
Well,
We can sausage is made.
we can wrap this up.
Yes, the plentiful full of sausage.
Do you have any last thoughts before we do ratings?
No, I mean it's one of those movies. Check out. My wife liked it, and she doesn't like horror movies. It's not really a horror movie. It's more of a goofy, violent kind of
It's a comedy horror.
trauma-esque.
Yeah, that's probably
Definitely trauma. Yeah, definitely trauma vibe.
But yeah, no, definitely check it out. I'm ready to give our hot dogs if you guys are.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Oh, me first? Okay.
Yeah.
Family view wise, I'm gonna say 3.5 because I really enjoyed it. It was actually it wasn't something that made me want to turn it off or change or fast forward. I didn't have to do none of that shit with watching it with my family, and I liked it. And it was something that was just different from my normal view of do I want to watch my kids? Do I want to? I don't know. I really fucking liked it, and the practical artwork of not artwork, but the practical makeup effects of all this shit reminded me so much of when I was a kid watching or looking at Fangora magazine,
Yeah.
seeing like fucking Rawhead Rex fucking melting in his face and shit like that. That's what I saw when the police officer was being melted. When Psycho Goreman created his first artwork that got knocked over. It brought me back to when I was a kid. I don't know about you guys because you guys are younger than me. So what did I say? 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next?
I was muted. Lewis, you go ahead.
Yeah. So I really like this movie. I'm gonna say it's a 4.5
All right.
out of 5. It's definitely like if you love horror, check this out. It's something different. It's something kind of fresh. Um, you don't see a lot of like horror comedies in this vein with the rubberized suits, kind of throwback to like the 80s cheesy practical effects like Basket Case and
Right.
Yeah.
kind of movies of that nature.
That's actually a part of a Fangoria magazine that I was referring to. So
Yeah,
shit.
Belial.
Basket Case.
Fucking
Basket
weirdo.
Case was the Fangoria magazine. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so
I'm thinking about.
it pays homage. I don't know what that
Homage.
word.
Homage.
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 Amle du homage. It pays homage to kind of that era, and especially like like Matt
I
said,
liked it.
very much Power Rangers for adults, even in the sense of like Guyver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely check it out. It's streaming on Shudder. I don't know why Shudder hasn't sponsored us by now.
Right.
It's been all over my YouTube sponsors too, by the way. Any
But
kind of
yeah.
ad that pops up, it's in my YouTube.
Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. What about you, Matt?
I'm gonna go 4. I really liked it. I'd love to see what these guys can do with the like serious budget though.
That'd be nice.
I'd love to see like in my opinion to keep the practical effects, but everything else you tidy up a little bit. But I really dig it. It's one of those things where when you go in to watch it, understand that you are watching what virtually is like a comedy. It's not really a horror movie in any stretch. Some of the lines of dialogue are downright between him and Mimi are downright hilarious.
Yeah.
Goreman's got some serious funny shit he says, and it's just all like super hyper violent threats. But like when he's saying them to a little girl and she's like, "Bye," it's
And
fucking
they do
hilarious.
that twice. They do that twice throughout the movie. That's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
It's that sort of shit's just beyond like funny to me. So,
And if you're watching the fucking captions, it says "bye."
does it?
And yeah, and my kid was like, "What the hell? Why'd they have to do that?" I was like, "Because it's her saying it."
Yeah.
Bye.
But yeah, no, I solid 4 out of 5. I'll probably watch it fairly soon again.
Sweet. So I want to bring this up before we close out. Next week we are doing 2 horror
Fantastic
movies.
movies.
We're doing 2 horror movies. We are doing a brand new one, Conjuring 3, just came out, and we're doing a classic horror film, Mr. Nanny.
It's gonna be tough to fucking watch that one though. I'm worried about it.
If you were to ask me which film I'm more excited about to review, it's Mr. Nanny.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching Mr. Nanny.
I'm not saying that The Conjuring 3 is going to be bad. I just really want to watch Mr. Nanny.
It's been a very long time since I've watched Mr. Nanny, so it's gonna be tough for me to see it again, man.
I think I made Jen watch it like 6 years ago. Like I came across it somewhere, and I was like, Mr. Nanny. And she's like,
"Oh, really?"
She's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I was like, "You're gonna see, bitch." And then I made her watch that and Suburban Commando.
I'm gonna make that family movie night. I'm gonna make both of those fucking double feature. I want to make.
Are
my
you
family watch both of them.
are you gonna start with the horror movie or start with Mr. Nanny?
We're gonna start with the horror movie, and then we're gonna watch Mr. Nanny. They're both horror movies.
That way they'll get some sleep.
Didn't you say?
Yeah. I guess the theme of this month is like
Schizophrenic.
if one of the kids ate one of the Willy Wonka candies and it tasted good and then it got really bad, that's the theme for this month. We're doing wacky, fucking just crazy movie combinations.
There we go.
Well, see, the fun thing is so next week we're doing Nanny and Conjuring, and the week after that will be the Freaky episode. Freaky and the Dark and the Wicked, I think. Or no. What did we do with Freaky?
Hellraiser.
No,
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser and Suburban Commando.
No, the Freaky episodes we've already got recorded because we're recording the 4th of July episode.
That's for 4th
at
of
the
July.
end of June. So we'll have the Freaky episode will be out the 3rd week or the last week in June. Then you'll have the 4th of July episode, but then in July we've got things like Willy Wonka, and we'll be doing the Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory episode.
And Arnie's birthday, 2 more Arnold movies.
Yeah, Arnold's birthday, so we'll end up doing 2 movies that we weren't able to fit into the May Madness. So yeah, this upcoming month's gonna be, and then anything that comes out new that we see that appeals to us. I saw a trailer for a movie. I can't remember what it was called right now, but it's all about this kid who wants to become like a professional skater. And Vince Vaughn plays his dad, and it looks like a really cool, quirky indie comedy. So it's not on streaming anywhere yet. But I might purchase it because out of the blue, I was like, all right, well, let's see what the trailer, because I kept seeing the fucking cover art pop up everywhere. I'm like, all right, let's see what the fucking trailer is, and I really enjoyed it. So I'll have to look up and see what that's called, and I'll let you guys know because I want to watch that one at some point too.
Yeah. If it's got Vince Vaughn, I'm down.
Well, he from the trailer, he plays like kind of like an understanding yet kind of like what the fuck he has a line in the trailer where he's like, "What are you doing? Since when do you talk like that?" Like in that Vince Vaughn kind of tone. But yeah, it's like an indie comedy. I think
you're not supposed to pee in the toilet. You're supposed to do it at home.
And you know me, man. Like at this point, Nicolas Cage, Vince Vaughn, like anything they're releasing, I'm gonna at least have an eyebrow up to. Like Nicolas Cage, I'll go watch. Vince Vaughn, I'll at least be like, let's see what it is, as long as it isn't fucking Dragged Across Concrete 2.
Is it free to watch yet?
No, right? Dragged Across Concrete with him and Mel Gibson. The slowest goddamn movie I've ever watched, God. Bro. It's literally watching paint dry. But all right, we're done for this episode. We'll see you guys. This will be out. I'm gonna get this out soon. Then we'll be doing, as we said, Mr. Nanny and Conjuring 3 for next week. Week after that, you'll be seeing the episode we have pre-recorded with Freaky and another movie. Can't remember what the other movie was, to be honest with you.
Is that happening on 4th of July, or is that when's that happening?
No, that episode's going to release the week of the 25th, the weekend of the 25th. And then the
Okay.
next week is 4th of July weekend, which we will release.
Oh wait, you're skipping a whole week, sir.
Oh, am I?
The week of the 18th.
So wait, so
That-
it's
that- that's what I was
today,
asking.
So the 7th,
Yeah, so
the
11th is yeah. So on that week of the
Suburban
18th,
Commando and,
yeah, Suburban Commando, and we'll figure out another.
yeah, we'll get real fucked up with that one. Don't worry about that one. We'll figure out.
I
something
thought we were doing
crazy to watch.
Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser.
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
That's
so
gonna be a
the,
weird
the
week.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah, what's gonna be fun though?
next week's Conjuring and Mr. Nanny. Week after that is Suburban Commando, Hellraiser. Week
And
after that
then-
will be the Freaky episode. Week after
Okay.
that is going to be the 4th of July, which I believe is going to be Patriot and Gangs of New York.
Yes.
And then
We're
the
gonna
week
do our best. Yeah.
and then we're going to do the week after that. We're going to try to do I think the Willy Wonka movies. And go
Sounds
from
like
there.
a fucking plan.
The Indiana Jones movies are coming out in 4K in July, so at some point we should probably do an episode reviewing all of those.
Only the Crystal Skull episode, right?
Only that one? You can watch whatever you want.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
watch
just do
all
that
of
one.
them. No, that's
No,
not
but
what
let's
we're going to
just
do
do
here.
that one.
No,
I saw
I'm
fucking-
terrible
I
at
saw
it.
just
that
fucking
in
around. I'm just
theaters.
fucking around.
Fuck, so did I.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, both of you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, fuck Shia LaBeouf.
I actually saw it on Blu-ray.
I paid
That's
to see it.
because they were giving it away. Because it was
Well,
garbage.
I also worked at Blockbuster, so I pre-ordered it for like $4.
Oh yeah, I remember they used to have that scheme with the employee discount and everything.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it for $4.
All right. Well, we're
It
going to
was fun.
sign off. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week, and it's going to get a little weird this upcoming month and a half, but it'll be
It's gonna
fun.
get weird.
All right, guys, have a
It's,
great
it's
night.
not so much weird. It's just gonna be fun.
This is gonna be a little, I think it's going to be a little weird.
I think it's gonna be fun.
All right, have a good night, guys.
See ya.